beautifully done.
We bowled in.
Beautiful.
And there it is.
An innings of authority.
Wow, what about this?
Does he get enough? You bet he does. West Indies strikes again.
So after 2 days of England dominance, the West Indies fought back and took their turn to make the opposition toil under the Barbados sun. Shamar Brooks and Nkrumah Bonner fell in the morning session. But Captain Craig Brathwaite and his second-in-command, Jermaine Blackwood, kicked on and gave England plenty to ponder. Blackwood would have gone for a duck if England had reviewed an LBW, but their 183-run partnership was gritty and obdurate. Both not centuries, and while there's a long way back for the West Indies, they're making small inroads.
First runs of the morning might just have come off the bat. We'll wait. Confirmation runs it is.
Matt Fisher just sliding on to sort of middling leg stump. Little loosener. Good confidence builder. First up in the morning. It's always nice as a batsman if you get one.
In the gap. Will challenge the boundary. And just enough to get there, despite the best efforts of Zach Crawley.
Just a bit fuller outside off stump from Matt Fisher. He's only got one slip in. Fielders on the leg side. Give Zaris Joseph some wit here, but Zach Crawley just gets stuck in the turf. I hate to see that.
Got away. In the gap once again, short and wide, dispatched by Craig Brathwaite. 304 for 4.
Oh, ripper. Absolute beauty. Bottle it. And repeat. Morning, Kirtley.
Good morning, Butch. What a way to introduce me. Certainly was a ripper.
Flashed away for 4. Quite like that approach at Brathwaite. It's very, very tight when the ball is in and around off stump, but he's shown in this series a penchant, a liking for throwing the hands at that slightly wider one. And that might be just a way of dangling the carrot at him. Oh, Lord. How did that miss? Superb from Jack Leach, and that one has gone from his natural pace of 90 kilometers per hour. Maybe things are starting to happen.
That's probably the best delivery that we've seen him bowl, and he's bowled quite a few.
Catch, it's a cry. Not enough room out there for the fielder to backtrack. First 6 for Joseph anyway. Maybe up the innings. 329 for 4.
Short ball from Dan Lawrence. Four. Area that Ben Stokes will be looking to target, just in and around that off stump. Not as much pace on it as what Ben Stokes would like, and Craig Brathwaite just drops his hands, guides it between first slip and fifth slip. Comfortable boundary.
Oh, what a catch. That is a superb catch. Reaction time there, almost nothing. And finally for England, the breakthrough has come. Been hard work this morning for all the bowlers, but this little bit of something just comes from short and wide, which of course you wouldn't necessarily recommend, but those hands had to move ever so quickly to give Ben Stokes the wicket. Alzara Joseph caught Lawrence, brilliantly caught Lawrence, bowled Stokes, retreats, head down, 19 from 75. Guess what, it's 5 down for 336. It's edged, it's gone down short of the slip. Bounces a good metre in front of Crawley, cannot stop it going to the boundary.
Gets off the mark. Jason Holder, albeit streakishly, creating some issues. Ben Stokes.
That's a nice shot. That's just eased away through mid-off. Eased away very nicely indeed. Beats the chase. Just that little bit over pitch from Ben Stokes. Very self-critical as ever. So regretting that slightly too full length, but what a shot it was.
Yeah, regal from Jason Holder.
The edge goes down. Nicely controlled in a sense by Jason Holder. That angled bat, the soft hands, that's always the way to get the edges going down well in front of the slips. And they're standing closer and closer as well.
Yeah, soft hands, didn't push at it, waited for the ball to come at him, and that would have helped him. Also the lack of pace from the surface.
First runs for a considerable while for Brathwaite, greeted with a cheer. 150 overs for England, 350 up for the West Indies. And it looks as though England might sneak one more over in. Right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your lot for the morning session here from the Kensington Oval. 351 for 5. England have racked up another 151 overs in the field. 34 overs in the session, 1 for 63. The over rate has been excellent. It probably ends there as far as the excitement goes. Run rate of 1.85 runs per over. England have huffed and puffed and have put in another big shift in the field. But the man who is immovable is West Indies captain Craig Brathwaite. 145 not out and 444 balls, 623 minutes of pure concentration for the West Indies skipper. Alzara Joseph, the night watchman, gave him great company early in the morning before he was dismissed by way of an excellent catch in the gully by Dan Lawrence off the bowling of Ben Stokes, the persevering Ben Stokes for 19. Jason Holder has since joined his skipper, former captain and current captain, in harmony out there in the middle at the moment. 15 runs is their partnership from 89 deliveries. There was a passage of play there where England racked up 6 maidens on the trot. Still nothing in the wicket column for Wokes, Mahmood or Joe Root. We've not seen him. Dan Lawrence got through a few this morning. Ben Stokes now has 2 wickets to his name, 24 overs, 2 for 51. Perspiration and effort from England's premier all-rounder, as you would expect. All of that means that the West Indies are still 156 runs behind, and England will still feel, as unlikely as it may seem at the moment, that a couple of wickets and they would then be able to come out and put the West Indies under a lot of pressure in the final innings of this match, if they have the energy to do so.
This could be the first Test match wicket, and it is taken. The first wicket in Test cricket for Shakib Mahmood. What a joyous time for him.
What a joyous time for Shakib Mahmood, and what a catch this is by Matt Fisher. No idea how difficult this catch is. It goes a long way in the air, Not sure what Jason Holder has seen in that ball. A little bit shorter. He's gone for the big mo to go over mid-wicket. Fisher, it's going, it's turning. That is a great catch, and to hold it as it hit the bottom. The joy on his face. Yes, punch in the air for Saqib Mahmood. First Test wicket. Congratulations. Holder goes for 12. The West Indies 351 for 6.
Must be a second. Yes, it's a second Test match wicket. LBW again, as we spoke about so often.
Conversation, are we going to have a review? 5-4. Yep, we've gone for review.
Thanks, Drill. Review for LBW. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given is out. Check the front foot. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Doesn't appear to be any bat involved, but I'd like to use ultra edge to confirm whether there's any contact between ball and bat. There's a spike as the ball is next to the bat. Satisfied that there is contact between bat and ball. I'm going to go back to drill on field. Drill, I'm going to ask you to change your out decision to not out. You're on screen now, make your signal.
There's a little scratch on there, but I'm not overly convinced Joshua De Silva believed that that's what he was referring for.
They go for it, and he gets there. Wonderful achievement for the West Indies captain. Only the second time in Test match cricket that he's gotten to this landmark. Both captains leading from the front with the bat in this game.
It's been a fantastic innings by Brathwaite. 458 balls. 16 fours, 648 minutes. Coupled with the fact that he captained to marshal his troops for nearly 151 overs. Special achievement. It's a special innings on his home ground.
Bat onto pad, I think. They review it.
Thank you, Nigel. Review for court. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for court. The on-field decision is not out. Front foot check, fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Appears as if the ball has missed the bat on this first shot. Can we just follow through? Go forward for me, please. I'm just going to use that dredge to confirm. Doesn't appear to be any bat. Appears as if the ball is some distance away from the bat. Just follow all the way through. Bat is on pad. That's the spike we are seeing. So gap between the ball and the bat. Just follow all the way through. Thank you. Satisfied that there's no bat involved. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel, I'm going to ask you to stay with your original. Sorry, let me just follow through for LBW as well. Can we have ball tracking when ready? It's pitching in line. The impact's outside off. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel, I'm going to ask you to stay with your original decision of not out. You're on screen now, make your signal.
It's edged away, but it's safely wide of the slips. All are on the ground as well, so very safely away for 4.
Yeah, genuine nick. Ben Stokes has caused De Silva to make a proper mistake. No punishment for it on this surface.
Mighty close, very, very close. No reviews available, so this decision stands come what may as Matt Fisher comes back into the attack. Hands on heads everywhere.
I think Fisher might have just inquired of the West Indies captain as to whether he hit that, and Brathwaite shook his head. Let's have a look. High, going down.
Now, there we have it. The next new ball, the third one of this innings, delivered by the reserve umpire, I assume Leslie Reefer. With all due ceremony, all due pomp and circumstance. Will be held aloft to let the scorers know. And anyone else who's still awake in the ground here at Kensington Oval.
Beautifully bowled. That was a peach of a delivery. Went past the outside edge of Joshua De Silva.
Fall shot. What a wonderful effort from Stokes to be able to drag a fall shot out of Brathwaite after 483 deliveries at the crease.
Shaking his head, Ben Stokes. It was a good delivery, extra bounce. No chance for the slip fielders.
Top class delivery. And it took something special to end this marathon effort. What a wonderful knock it has been from the West Indies captain. But finally, for Leach, this new ball, this third new ball has worked.
Brilliant piece of bowling. That was a brilliant delivery. We've seen quite a few of those throughout this innings. Didn't bring him any reward, but this time it did. A magnificent effort by the West Indies captain comes to an end. 160 from 489 deliveries, 385 for 7.
Well, that's a good shot. Finds the gap beautifully behind point, which is Josh De Silva.
Yeah, very well controlled. Top of the bounce, and he didn't try to overhit it. We saw Shamar Brooks being dismissed with a similar type delivery.
He's given him. I'm sure there's going to be a review. There was a lot of swing there. Jubilation for Chris Wokes. Will it be short-lived?
Thanks, Joel. Review for LBW. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given on field is out. Front foot check, fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Ball is quite close to the bat as it goes past. I'd like to use outrage to confirm whether or not there is contact between bat and ball. Outrage coming up. It's a flat line as the ball goes past the bat. Satisfied there's no bat involved. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Ball tracking's coming up. Pitching outside off. Impacts in line. Wicket. Umpire's call. And we go back to Joel on the
Chris
field.
Wokes.
Joel, stay with your original decision. You're on screen now. Make your signal.
Joel Wilson was correct. Only just. And Chris Wokes has picked up his first wicket in 52 overs. and it's that of Kemar Roach. He goes for 1. It's 3-9-2 for 8. Big shout from folks. Nothing from Dogood. No reviews for England.
He's making this ball talk now, isn't he, Jack Leach? Just drifts in, spins away. Might have been something on that from that replay.
Well. That's hit Pamor's left hand. Bending it should be okay. Might give him a few issues gripping the ball.
Yep, that's his bowling hand. And those are the fingers that, the money fingers as it were.
Bouncer safely over the head of Pamor, so it will be the tea break. West Indies go into tea on day 4, 396 for 8 in their first innings. Trailing England by 111, 27 overs in the session, 3 wickets, which is a feast of wicket taking in the context of this game. 3 for 45, over rate slow from England as they tie it. The run rate is funereal at 1.67 per over. And De Silva has 24 to his name, and Pamor with 4. And England will have to strap the fielding boots on once again after a quick change of shirt and socks and a sandwich, and come back out and do it all over again with 2 wickets to get. Brathwaite towering at the top of the order. 489 deliveries, over 11 hours at the crease for his 160, and it took an absolute beauty from Jack Leach to remove him. Josh De Silva had his difficulties at the beginning of the innings, but he stood firm, 24 not out. Pamor has 4, and England are through. Look at that, 178 overs, 396 for 8. Wickets for all of England's main bowlers, including Dan Lawrence. 1 for Wokes, 1 for Fisher, 2 for Leach. 68 overs for England's left-arm spinner, 2 for 118. 2 for 65 for Ben Stokes, who charged in and caused some discomfort whenever he had the ball in hand. 1 for 50 for Saqib Mahmood. He picked up his maiden Test match wicket by way of a superb catch from Fisher, and 1 for 21 for Lawrence. West Indies 111 runs behind.
Now that flicks off the pad, goes very fine. Take 4. Given as runs.
Badly lined delivery that time by Saqib Mahmood.
Oh, that's very, very close, and this time the finger goes straight up. Equally so, the review is signalled almost immediately. So we go through the process yet again of celebrations,
review for LBW,
followed by waiting for confirmation.
TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given is out. Front foot check, fair delivery established. Can we move on to frontal and spin vision, please? And clearly no bat involved. But I'll use our dredge to confirm that. There's a gap between the bat and ball. Satisfied there's no bat involved. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Ball tracking's coming up. It's pitching outside off. Impact in line, wickets hitting. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel, stay with your original decision. You're on screen now, you can make your signal.
Yeah, once it was established that there was no contact, no minimal contact even of bat on ball, that was that. That was as plumb as you get. And Virasamy Pamal was already 20 yards on his way down to the pavilion when he saw that first replay. So he's gone for 5. It's 403 for 9. That's the way. That's a chase for Leach. It's going to be a futile chase for Leach as well. Jaden Seals had a flick of the bat, a twirl of the bat as he celebrated his boundary.
Good strike by Jaden Seals. Hardly any back lift, so the timing was really good.
Here we go again, and there goes the finger this time. Enjoy the celebrations while they last, because you're going to have to go through another review
Thanks,
first.
Joel. Review for LBW. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given is out. Front foot checked. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Front on's coming up. Can you rock and roll that for me? Yeah, there's clearly no bat involved. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Ball tracking's coming up. It's pitching outside off. Impacts in line. Wickets missing. Gonna go back to Joel on field. Joel, I'm asking you to change your out decision to not out. You're on screen now, make your signal.
Oh, well, poor old Jack Leach and England as a team have to bin the celebrations for now.
The ball has turned for Jack Leach.
Given him, and reviews immediately as per Joshua De Silva. Usually when they review immediately might be an inside
Joel,
edge. He thinks,
review.
let's listen on.
Thanks. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given is out. Front foot checked. Fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Doesn't appear to be any bat, but I'll use Ultredge to confirm that. Standing by for Ultredge. Waiting on Ultredge, guys. Ultredge is coming up. Yeah, there's a gap between bat and ball. Satisfied there's no bat involved. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Ball tracking's coming up. Pitch in line, impacts in line, wickets hitting. It's going to go back to Joel on field. Joel, stay with your original out decision. You're on screen now.
Joe Wilson gets that right. Sure, De Silva thinks it's sliding down. It did go on with the arm. It's gone on to the leg stump. Samuel Badri gets what he wished for. Another wicket for Jack Leach. And yes, asked the question earlier. I think he has bowled better than his wicket column deserves. Sliding on with the arm. Joshua De Silva not quite able to get the bat down in time. His teammates appreciate him. Big smile on Jack Leach's face, largely because this mammoth 187.5 overs have come to an end. Jack Leach finishes with 3 for 18 off 69, yes, 69.5 overs.
A marathon effort for Jack Leach. Marathon effort in the field for England, 187.5 overs. Century for Craig Brathwaite, the captain, 160. Centurion vice captain Jermaine Blackwood, 102. And they got up to 411, the West Indies. And they will be very pleased with that batting effort. Amount of time they spent out in the middle. terms of balls faced, in terms of minutes spent out there. The bowling for England.
Well, it's been a toil for England. Jack Leach, 69.5 overs, 3 for 18. Ben Stokes, 2 for 65. Saqib Mahmood on debut, 2 for 58. A wicket each for Fisher and for Wokes and Lawrence. 108, nearly 188 overs in the field.
So after one innings each, England 507 for 9. Joe Root century, Ben Stokes century, West Indies 411 all out. Craig Brathwaite century, Jimin Blackwood century, and England, they have a lead of 96 runs.
Absolute beauty there from Kemar Roach. Again, wide of off stump. First innings of a test match, you'd be looking to leave these, but Zach Crawley likes to put bat on ball. And I think from the West Indies point of view, it's waiting for England to make their move.
Oh, the finger's gone up. The finger has gone up pretty quickly. And this is not one of those immediate reviews that suggests an inside edge or anything like that. This is one of those conferences that says, shall we, shan't we? The answer is yes, we shall.
Thanks, Nigel. TV umpire to director. We have a player's review for LBW. The original decision given is out. Front foot check, fair delivery established. Can we move on to front on, please? Doesn't appear to be any bat involved. I'd like to use our thread just to confirm that. Yeah, there's a gap between bat and ball, flat line. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready? Standing by for ball tracking building. Ball tracking comes. Outside off, pitching, impact in line, wickets missing. I'm going to go back to Nigel on field. Nigel, I'm going to ask you to change your out decision to not out. You're on screen now. You can make your signal.
That's a good shot. That's a nice shot. Just that bit of width offered by Kemar Roach. Just using the pace and some nice timing to get it down to the boundary.
Yeah, I really like to see this from Alex Leach. He was tentative when he was given the opportunity to play a square cut shot or a shot through the offside when offered a bit of width. In that first innings, he looked as though, should I really be playing aggressively at this?
Oh, that's beaten everything. Beaten bat, beaten gloves, beaten stumps. It's not going to beat the boundary as such, or not going to reach the boundary as such, but that's a real danger area. Driving from that area is a big risk. 16 without loss. These are the ones when you get a little bit of dip. Good spinners will always have that bit of dip with the revolutions on the ball.
Apart from that ball, where he gets too straight and Crawley nicks one around the corner for 4.
Yeah, just fires it just that little bit down leg side, but that's all you need.
Top class work from Blackwood. It's an area that I found in this test match in particular, that his ground fielding has been outstanding all the way through.
Very quick across the ground, certainly. Usually finds himself in that slip cordon.
That's a tremendous strike. Crawley has picked the length beautifully. 35 without loss.
Has really been if not entertaining, captivating day of Test match cricket, the 4th day in the second Apex Test match. West Indies batted gamely for the majority of the day. England still had a healthy lead at this stage, an overall lead of 136.
You may or may not have heard that Joel Wilson was saying that it's too dark for pace. You have to bowl spin, and Craig Brathwaite perhaps relayed the message they were going to bowl pace. So that is the end of that. The umpires have taken a reading. West Indies, led by this man, their captain, have been extremely good, getting to 411 on the back of his 150. But England lead by 136 with all their wickets in hand in the second innings. And we may have an exciting 50, perhaps, if England can set a total. Looks calm out there with the cruise ship that has brought so many visitors to the country. 40 without loss, Lees on 18, Crawley on 21 has confirmed that 136 run lead.
5 bowlers used by the West Indies so far. Haven't seen Alzari Joseph just yet. And Pumal caused a few concerns, but no wicket for any of the bowlers safely negotiated by the English opening pair. After 4 days, England ahead by 136 runs, 40 without loss in their second turn at the crease. 15 overs bowled in this evening session for England's second turn. Few centuries throughout this Test match, 4 in total, 2 for England, 2 for the West Indies.